Yay! Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay, the reason why I'm saying wow, I mean, the image speaks for itself. Two of Cups represents union. This is a sacred union. Well, everything's sacred. We're all sacred. This is a protected union. So what's protected? You, right? You are protected. Your life experience. Look at this. Look at the colors. I love that. So just take a look at the imagery. So you can see the light shining through. There's so much light shining through. But to have, so here, the karma card represents a culmination. It's like looking, self-evaluation, a culmination. And so what's happening is we're being guided to walk away from something. We're being guided to trust, to let go of the old experience. The lesson has been learned. It's time to accept your reward. It's time to plant a new seed. It's time for a new beginning. And the beginning is going to happen. The beginning happens as quickly as you allow it. So as soon as you set the intention for it to happen, you have the belief that it has happened. You've accepted your reward. You live here, right here in the moment with absolute knowing, complete surrender. Just living your life through the eyes of love. Because this is love. What we're being guided to do is we're being guided to continue moving forward. The only way that the past can exist is if you keep looking back. So if you keep looking back to the past, every time you do that, you're going to activate it. This is why Spirit is saying, don't look back. And although there hasn't been a complete revealing of a complete revealing, that's just Spirit is saying, trust, because there is a new beginning. It is a test. Take a test. It is a test, and let's just, so what I'm saying is it is a test. This whole entire experience, humanity, is a test. It's a test in faith, trust. Okay? So often what we're doing is we're trying to control the outcome. That's not the card I want to show. But so that's what this is what the Fool means. The Fool means that you're taking a leap of faith, that you will be having a new beginning. The new beginning is here right now in the moment, right? So it's like we got to start training our mind to be, because so many of us are living in the future or living in the past. And when you're doing that, you lose your focus. You you're not at peace. You feel pulled. But when you're in the moment and you're just like, you have that clear vision and you're just living in the moment, then you're able to have, instant manifestation. So I was thinking about this earlier. You plant the seed, and no sooner do you plant the seed, it sprouts, because you know how to tend. You know how to tend to it. Okay, there we go. Now, so you plant the seed, you tend to your garden, and you find your equilibrium, you find your balance, you go within, you connect to your intuition, you become receptive, you learn the lesson, right? So often people just continue to repeat the cycle. And Spirit's saying, we're not repeating the cycle anymore. It's time to stop repeating the cycle. Do you want a new experience or not? Do you want a new beginning or not? Are you willing to accept the offering or not? I'm amazing. Thank you so much. How are you? Right? And I think it's right now, it's all about our healing. So what does this mean? It means that when you're healed, you're not in pain. So if you're constantly experiencing pain, anxiety, worry, confusion, you're stressed, then you're in pain. So that's what they're saying, healing. Healing is like, it's a deep, intimate experience. It tests your faith. It's all about trust. You have to trust the process of healing, right? Let's say if you have a wound, you have to tend to it, and you have to trust. Your body automatically is regenerating itself, and it's healing from the inside out, right? You're just trusting that wound is going to heal, and it's going to heal in the timing, in its right timing. So my readings are a minimum donation of $15, and the donation link is in the bio. And I'll be beginning readings in 5 minutes. Paid private readings in 5 minutes. Why wouldn't you want to heal? Why wouldn't you want to have? Why wouldn't you? Anything else, Spirit? Is there anything else that we need to know? There's a lot of things that are... So the feelings that you're having, the stress, the anxiety, the pain, the suffering, it's only in your mind. I'm going to be on for sure another half an hour, unless I have private readings. Half an hour to an hour. Why? How long are you thinking? An hour and a half. I'm going to say an hour and a half is how long I'm going to be on here. Okay, so how are we gonna get through this? How are we gonna, it's one thing to say, oh yeah, the healing, and You know, it's in your imagination, it's in your mind, you create your reality, yeah, like, yeah, this is true. But what's the solution? What's the solution? The solution is to stop telling yourself the same story. That's the solution. So it's like whatever you have got going on within is what's gonna whatever you got going on within is what's going to go on without. Right? So it's like if you're internalizing things and you have intrusive thoughts and you're like, you can't stop thinking about the past, then you implement different healing techniques, such as affirming. So affirming, a lot of times if people affirm, but they're not doing it in a way that's effective. The other thing is a lot of people are getting too far ahead, right? So they just want to jump to the end, which, like that is time jumping. That could be effective, but the thing is if there's certain things that you need to learn, then quantum jumping, that's what it's called. So jumping into a new reality, in some ways, yes, like if you've already learned the lesson but you fell back, then I could say that you could quantum jump. But if you haven't learned the lesson and you just want to skip it, then the quantum jump isn't going to work. It's not gonna work. I don't know where that came from. I have no idea where that came from. Well, it came from spirit. The information tonight is kind of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's not really a clear, so far what I've been receiving isn't like a super, super, super clear message. And actually here, now that I look at this, that's the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups, this talks about our imagination, illusion, multiple options. But you can, what happens is we get into our mind. So the King of Swords is all mind energy. Out of all the kings, this is the least, this king is not as heartfelt, is the least heartfelt king out of all of them. Their primary love, their love language is their mental. So in order for them to, they have to do a lot of thinking before they actually make a decision. Unless they're balanced. If they're balanced, they can boom, their decision's done. Like they know, right? If they're in the operating from the love space, their heart center, it's easy for a King of Swords to make a decision. But if the King of Swords is operating from codependency, then they're going to struggle making a decision. So I think that's what's happening. I think that a lot of people are struggling receiving love because they're still codependent. They don't feel good enough, right? They're holding on. And then that's what's preventing them from, that's what's causing the imbalance. But it's just a matter of making a decision. So here, this is upright energy, this is balanced. And so harmony, equilibrium, connection. Then we have another 2 energy. So this is mind and heart coherence. But it's like, unless you're firmly grounded and you're sticking to the intention of what it is that you want, and that's it. There's no going back. There's no wavering. It's a done deal. You made the decision. Then that's the done deal right here. That's the karma card. XX. So if you've been holding out, like if you've been thinking about an ex, or you're like with someone, like you get together, you break up, you get together, you break up, or you're thinking about someone from your past who's an ex, or you're wanting an ex to return, or you're angry at an ex, any of these things, this is the judgment saying, Spirit saying, you need to make a judgment call. Are you going to continue to be consumed with what happened with you and your ex? Are you going to continue to be consumed by, obsessing about your ex returning? Are you going to continue to be angry that, your ex did this, your ex did that? What are you going to do? Are you going to accept it and walk into a new direction? Are you going to spend some time in self-reflection? But the hermit, look at, you got to go with the face the demons. And when you do, then that's when you have your new beginning. And that's what this is what Spirit's saying. It's all about balance right now. So having the heart and mind coherent. So you're combining your heart and your mind. Because we're all one, it's all connected. It's the program. It's part of the mechanism. You have to have everything connected in order for it to operate fully functioning. So that's what once you're balanced, right? How are you going to drive if you take off one wheel? You're like, oh, I'm just going to take this wheel off. I'm going to just, carry on. I'm just going to drive. It's not going to work. Okay, look at that. Double confirmation. Leap of faith. You can keep believing what you're believing. Keep believing what you're believing, or you're going to believe something different. It's your decision. What are you telling yourself? What's the story you're telling yourself? I'm not even going to say it because why, I'm not going to say, sometimes it's good. You want to say it, right? But I'm like, I don't even want to say what you're thinking. You know what you're thinking. So are you going to continue to keep thinking the same thing even though it's causing you pain? Are you going to continue to stay in a relationship with someone and refuse to learn your lesson? Because you refuse to trust? Because Spirit's saying it's time to trust. And then here we go. Trust here. So you got 2 cards. That's what the whole entire reading is all about. That's the key word. The reason why you have to trust is because Spirit has a plan. What does Spirit have planned? The whole purpose of this human experience is to rise up, to transcend, to save ourselves from ourselves, right? And it's like here, the pillar of light, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So when you let go of all of this darkness, like you can see, so here they're like hidden in the darkness, and there's this, this is the ego, this is the program, suppression, fear. And then here, this is what Spirit's saying. It's like, this is what we want for you. And now I'm being guided to talk about my shirt. Anyone can dream it. Anything you want. Anything you want.